Now, I want to talk to you about pigmentation, because pigmentation is something that a lot of women suffer from, and it's a generic term that can refer to many different issues. It can refer to melasma, it can refer to age spots, hyperpigmentation, vitiligo. And pigmentation is when a woman notices kind of spots on her skin, which are little brown marks. And as we get older, generally we produce more of them. But we can also get pigmentation from pregnancy, and it's called pregnancy mask. And that's a hormone imbalance, and it will appear here and over here. You can also get a little bit of, pigmentation on the sides here, because if you drive and you forget, because you're in the car, you don't use sunscreen, whichever side of the car that you have your window on, because it could be you drive on the left or right, you might notice if you're in the car a lot and that kind of person, you'll see much more on one side than the other. And that's generally why. Some people get this weird pigmentation on their neck, and it's kind of, it is slightly pigmentation, but I only knew this after years. I used to spray fragrance like that and like that when I was younger, and I went in the sun, and it created this real uneven skin tone because I'd put so much oil, alcohol on, and then I was going in the sun and I wasn't good at sunscreen. So there was a weird discoloration to my skin for quite a few years as a result of that. Hands is another place you can have them. I have got a few on my hands. Vitiligo is caused by a lot of pigmentation in the skin, and it's melanocysts kind of just don't form properly. Pigmentation. Now, what causes it? That's the thing, because a lot of people, I've given you some main things that it's caused by and that inflame it. The sun being a key driver. But I think a really important thing to remember about pigmentation is it is our body telling us that we have an inflammation. And I did a talk with Julia Hunter, and it was a really good talk. How she described it is, she said, imagine that you've got your two layers of skin here, and in between your melanocysts live. And if you take a lot of things that inflame skin, they sort of club together and they push through and they create a brown spot. And that's why as we get older, our skin gets inflamed much easier. Our reaction to sugar or wine or inflammatory foods is much stronger. So that's why they suddenly appear. That's why on your hands you get more age spots. It's just that. So one really important thing, apart from going professionally to have things done, and there are professional solutions as well for very bad melasma, is that using an FPS is key. Actually stopping the sun coming in and aggravating from externally is really important. So if you hover between, shall I wear SPF or not, maybe make a decision, say, actually, I'm going to. In the spring, I'll actually put SPF 30 on my hands. We sell BFF, which I'm going to actually put on now. And this is SPF 30, and I put that on every single day. And it's just my sort of go-to to protect my skin. And I think that internally, reducing sugar levels, if you can, is bloody healthy anyway as we go down the path of life. And having an SPF and taking also some vitamin C internally, I think that helps. And also putting on some products which are for pigmentation. So professional peels. There are some professional peels out there for pigmentation. And there's one, Cosmolan. Some people love it. And some people feel that after it, if you go back in the sun, it can come back worse. So it's a very personal choice. There are some very strong hydroquinines out there, which a lot of people use to kind of lighten skin. But when I had a good conversation with Julia Hunter about this, she talked a lot about hydroquinine. When you're using it, might make you think your skin is lighter and you're fading those spots. But as soon as you stop using it, it can kick in with a force, and it's not long-term brilliant for your skin. In America, hydroquinone is really being taken off the market quite rapidly because it has got it is not a brilliant product for skin. So Hannah, questions?
Silvana just asked, can you get pigmentation from taking vitamin D?
You cannot get pigmentation from taking vitamin D, really. Vitamin D is an important vitamin to take. If you take too little or too much, it can have effects. So finding the right amount is good. I take one from Better You. It's a spray. I do every morning, especially in the winter months in England. We don't get enough. Vitamin D is a very different vitamin from vitamin C. Doesn't really have an effect on pigmentation issues. Yeah. Barbara from cold Florida. You use the De-Stress and BFF every day on your hands as well. Fantastic, Barbara. I love it on my hands. Another one. Claire, just apply my BFF. Love, love, love. You're very sweet. Vanessa, yes, I must buy SPF. Do you put it on after your cream, serums, etc.? I generally put my serums on and then I put BFF SPF 30 on. If you don't use our product, put your serums on and then put your SPF on. I'm now going to talk about some good solutions for pigmentation. You can do some peels, some chemical peels. And if you want to do a professional peel, like a TCA peel, they can be good to kind of get the skin to a more even tone place. But when you go down the professional path of going to have peels, you really must use SPF 50 afterwards, like so important. LED, if you do LED masks like the Lightroom, they do not affect pigmentation. They make it worse. And in fact, they really help with collagen renewal. So they can help it a little bit. Okay, I'm now going to go on to my favorite pigmentation helpers. I'm going to talk about these products that I think are good for pigmentation. I'm going to start with The Ordinary 30% suspension in silicone. All right. Now this is £5.75. It will brighten the skin and it will help with pigmentation. It's a kind of cream and it rubs in. Sometimes with vitamin C, you feel the powder of the L-absorbic acid. This one will tingle a bit. The Ordinary is very good, being a really competitively priced range with singular ingredients. And the reason they can keep their prices down is their packaging is really cheap. When you start paying more for products, it's because either they have a far more complex level of ingredients or they're just kind of overcharging you. It's one or the other, sorry, I'm just being honest. Next up, this is a really good combination and I love this combination. This is Garden of Wisdom and this is alpha-arbutin and kojic acid. Now, kojic acid, derived from mushrooms, it's really good at lightening age spots and discoloration. Alpha-arbutin is from the leaves of a beerberry plant and it stops the production of tyrosinase, which is an enzyme, and that enzyme controls the amount of pigment that's produced by the pigment cells. Now it's £12. Kojic acid is an alternative to L-absorbic acid, and I like it in this product, but it depends on the percentage too. What I'm smelling probably is the bearberry plant, and you rub that in like that. Unlike L-absorbic acid, you don't feel that tingle, and this is using totally different ingredients to actually help with pigmentation. And The Ordinary also do an alpha-arbutin, which is another good alternative to look at getting the pigment cells working. Now, Niod has two products. They have a very nice vitamin C, which is an ethylated vitamin C, 30%. That is good for pigmentation. Repigment, this is from Niod, which is The Ordinary's older sister, and this has gallic acid in it. Even stronger than kojic acid, and it has potassium diglycinate, and this is a azelaic acid which is glycine bonded. All right, what this is especially good for is scarring, because azelaic acid I always tell people to get on prescription or as strong as they can get for getting rid of acne scars. The azelaic acid is a soft acid. It's not harsh. People have sensitive skin, use it. And I think that I'd say with the gallic acid, this is quite strong, but azelaic acid on its own can be used as a good alternative. And the Garden of Wisdom does do it. This is £50. Now, this is a more targeted product, and I have used this at night. There's Julia Hunter's full vitamin C powder when I've come back from the sun in the summer, and if I've caught a little bit of pigmentation, I will do a tiny microneedling and I will just press this on, and I'll do it that way. And my skin is very strong, so it can take it. If you have sensitive skin, that's going to be too powerful. Julia Hunter's powder, which can last forever because you need so little, and it's $78. And it is 95% of L-absorbic acid, and it's a sort of chirally correct one. It's also got vitamin C, E, B, A, amino acids, minerals, omegas, and you just take a fingertip size and put it on, so it lasts quite a long time. Now, you know, for me, Analyzer Skin is a really great brand, and the founder is very interested in having good skin. What I like about this, it's his Mandelic Pigmentation Corrector Night Serum. Now, this is £89. The way he is dealing with pigmentation is a very different route. It's not taking L-absorbic acid route. It's taking a sort of Mandelic lactic salicylic acid root, and it's quite a high blend because it's 11% medelic acid, which is really quite strong, lactic, which is a lovely soft bigger acid, and salicylic, which is quite a strong acid. There's 1% of bakuchiol and some brighteners, antioxidants, peptides, dullness, discoloration. It's got AHAs in it. This is kind of an all-rounder for me, for somebody who maybe has a spotty skin with discoloration. I think this is a brilliant product. We do something called the elevator pitch on Trinny London. And the elevator pitch is when we get female founders who have products and companies and we highlight them. And one of the ladies who came on was the founder of this, and it's Epara. She is specializing really on taking fantastic ingredients from Africa, organic ingredients, creating these sort of plankton extract products. Now, this one is specifically good for deep skin that might have uneven skin tone, and it uses lecithin, which is a plankton. That plankton really helps even out the skin tone, and it's got antioxidant in it too. This product's £105. I just want to show you how beautiful that oil is. There we go. Can you see it there? It's an amazing smell. It's a really, really unusual scent. I can sort of smell that earth because she talks a lot about cocooning yourself, and it's taken a lot from her Nigerian heritage. I like the fact this is steeped in science and steeped in nature. Sorry, I put it over the vitamin C, so that's not going to work because oil on vitamin C is not a happy friend, but it's a beautiful product. And if you have a deep toned skin with unevenness, that's a luxury, lovely product.